Welcome to Jon Ferrian Live. We are here in Seeley Lake, Montana. Where the heck is Seeley Lake, Montana? Does anybody know where Seeley Lake, Montana is? I'll tell you what, Seeley Lake, Montana is somewhere so far in the wilderness, in the backcountry, that I just got an error code on my computer that said low quality signal. Like, that's how far out in the backcountry we are right now. So, Keri, we're lucky to even be here, right?
Very lucky.
But, you know, the best part about this place is that we get away from the city, we get away from work, we get away from life, and we get to be here.
We get to enjoy life.
This is awesome. Like, guys, for anybody who's here watching, thank you for being here. God bless you for being here. This is amazing, right? So drop it in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from right now. And we got live viewers rolling in. We got live viewers coming in. But Tia, thank you for jumping in from Santa Barbara. We got a different setup here. So we're not doing the normal Skype call. We've got a live studio audience here in the cabin that we're here. Everybody's out here social distancing, behaving themselves. We got the set on the camera, but, you know, we're far enough away that we're trying to be safe and responsible. But we appreciate everybody jumping on tonight. So let us know where you're watching from and what you've been doing this weekend. Did you ride this weekend? Did you guys know Tia Smith is from Santa Barbara, California?
Woo-hoo!
She's never snowmobiled in her life, and she follows the show every single week.
She's going to snowmobile with us.
Someday she's going to come out and go snowmobile with us, I promise. So Mark Connor, who's here watching, he's from the Oregon State. Make sure we shut off the cameras in the back set, guys. All the volume's off. Not to mention you're burning up my bandwidth. Don't do it. Naughty audience. Guys, we are having some fun here, Cal. We got such an amazing crew, and we are just wrapping up day one of the Driven School.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
What is the Driven School, Keri? What the heck is that?
Lots of fun, but we actually had to learn about avalanche safety, rider training, all kinds of fun things. We are here to make sure all the snowmobilers that we get to work with get to have an amazing experience out on the snow, learning backcountry techniques so they know how to traverse from point A to point B safer and obviously more fun. Maybe you push your boundaries a little bit further, but the best part is, which is what I love about our program, is we make sure that they do avalanche education with it too.
Yeah, which is really, you know, from what you've shared with me, and you've been on the show before, so I think some of the viewers who watch regularly know this. And again, if I didn't mention it already, everybody, make sure you share this out right now. That is your responsibility as the viewer of this amazing episode. We got a lot of awesome things to share because tonight is kind of think of it as like the nirvana of Jon Ferrian Live. We have growing the sport in a positive way. We have making a difference to others. We're out here living large. We're doing avalanche education this week. We're doing a level 1. We're going to get into some details tonight, but we're doing a level 1 avalanche class followed up by a companion rescue and then immediately followed up by Ride Rasmussen Style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to hang all week. Like, I mean, this is going to be like, I mean, by, what is it, Saturday night?
Yeah.
I think if there was ever a possibility to go into what's called a snowmobile-induced coma, I think I might be there by Saturday night.
Us both.
I mean, I've been on, like, week-long trips where you're riding every week stuff, too. But to go out and do the intensity of a level 1 training, a companion rescue, and like, these Ride Rasmussen guys, we're going to talk to them here in a little bit, but they're not going to, like, baby us.
No.
You know, they're going to throw us over the edge and say swim, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm pretty sure that's how they operate, right? They just throw you over the edge and swim. It's like when your mom and dad taught you how to swim. They threw you out of the boat.
Exactly. Sink or swim, right?
It's actually a little nicer than that. We'll get to that a little bit. But let's talk about the inspiration for Driven and what it's about. Like, kind of, you know, we've talked about it in depth before, but, like, just high level for those who maybe haven't heard the story yet is, you know, what's your backstory on why did you start this?
So I'm originally from North Dakota.
Yep.
And we are flatlanders, right? But the best part about it is a lot of our snowmobilers head west to go out and experience the great offers of all across the western snowmobile states. And we were noticing in the last 20 years, especially the last 15, that snowmobilers would head out to go have fun, but they weren't coming home. And that really hit home for me. I used to manage the North Dakota snowmobile trails, and I remember holding my breath every time I'd hear there's an avalanche accident somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm in need of making a difference. I want to make sure that everybody that heads out to have fun gets to do it again the next day.
I think you've shared that before, and I thought, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of the similar goals you and I have in this world, don't we?
Bingo, right?
That's awesome.
That's why we live large together.
And that's hence the reason why I, like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, John, what you doing the first week of February, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That was awesome. So why the heck did you invite me? What's the audience need to know? Like, why is Jon Ferrian here living large.
Because who has more passion about snowmobiling than anybody else?
Passion, snowmobiling, avalanche safety, like quite the dynamic duo here making this happen, right? So Keri's all the brains operation. I'm just the good-looking one, the kind of the poster child here. I know you guys know that already, so we don't have to go into those details, but, this is what it's all about. So, Keri, you have partnered with some, in my opinion, some of the top companies in their respective industries are here this week, and I get to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the avalanche training, the Ride Skills School. Who are you partnering with, and who's here this week that's helping teach all of us students?
So we get to partner with Tyler's Backcountry Awareness. We've been doing this for about 5-6 years now. We also partner with Ride Rasmussen Style, and I've actually been working with them for well over 10 years. The reason I chose both of those companies is because their teams just exude so much passion about the sport, education, and they're approachable. They're outstanding individuals where you can walk up just like
most of them are, but there's that one guy, Brian Lundstedt, that, oh my gosh, like, he's not that approachable, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know. He might be watching, though.
Like, I don't even know where he's at. I think he's out in the hot tub, or he's probably at the bar inside the lodge or something like that. Like,
maybe.
We'll get to him later, so we'll come back to him later. Maybe he'll come in later, we'll see. But for right now, those are some amazing partners that you have here, too. And we have them here tonight, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And before I bring them on camera, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience tonight, or what you want to make sure that they understand about?
Our goal altogether, when we set up this partnership, our mission became one thing, and that is if you're going to ride like the pros, you need to train like the pros. It was that simple. Yeah. And so we partnered, and we brought you the pros, and we brought you the education that they're taking. They've all done this education too. They regroup every year. Ride Rasmussen Styles team gets together at the beginning of the season. I was just going to ask,
is this an annual event? Yeah. And if somebody, God forbid, right, they think this is the most epic event ever because we've told them it is, knock, knock, you should know that.
Yeah.
How do they sign up next year? Or, like, how do they get in on this for next season?
Sledgehatter.com. Just check it out. We'll always have the information out there on the event. We host this annually. We've been doing this for about 7 years. I forget where we're exactly at. But it just keeps getting bigger and better. We started out doing one-day events. This year we're up to 7 days.
Oh, my gosh.
And I've already had a little birdie in the back of my ear that says maybe 2 weeks, which makes me go like this.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, day one has been amazing so far. We went through the first day of our level 1 class. We're going to bring somebody, Mike, in from Tyler's Backcountry Awareness is coming in just a minute to talk about it. But I will tell you, as a student, my expectations, I've been through a level 1 with a different provider to be able to go through this today and to see how it's all coming together. I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed. So, a lot of great things going on already.
Lots of passion.
Yeah. We'll see if those Ride Rasmussen guys can live up to the same expectations. You think they can pull that off?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Rumor has it Brett Rasmussen might be here.
I think so.
There's a chance. Like maybe a younger version of Brett Rasmussen, but it's Brett Rasmussen.
Maybe in his 20s?
We'll see. We'll see who comes on. So, all right. Well, thank you, Keri, for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
If anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments, and Keri will chime in. She's about to step off camera, and she can answer questions after the show or whatever. But if you got anything for us, let us know. But the next one I'm going to bring in is Mike from Tyler's Backcountry Awareness. So come on in, Mike. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Check it out. You're on camera, buddy.
I'm live. Check it out.
You ever seen that show, Talladega Nights?
No.
Seriously? You've never seen Talladega Nights?
I don't watch a whole lot of TV.
If you guys have ever watched Talladega Nights, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Yes, I've watched Talladega Nights. And what's your favorite part of the show? Like, that's what I want to know. Talladega Nights is a good show. You seriously have never seen it?
I have never seen it.
You know Will Ferrell?
I know the name.
So you've heard of Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite scenes is that moment when Ricky Bobby gets on camera and his hands, like, just come up like this. And he's like, what do I do with my hands, right? Like, that's one of my favorite parts of the whole show. And I thought, Mike has not yet been on Jon Ferrian. Like,
no,
I don't know. There's different folks on here, but Mike's probably not the most, like, excited to be on camera. Like, and so my goal here is to embarrass him just enough so he can just kind of chill out and have some fun. So let's have a good time, Mike.
Let's do it.
You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So Well, let's just start with who the heck are you? Where do you live? Right.
So, name's Mike Lang Henry. If you're on the internet much, you might know me as Mule. I live in Colorado, a little town called Castle Rock. Yeah, I've been snowmobiling for about 14 years now, racing on and off for 5 or 6, maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
Not doing it well, but certainly doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So have you known the Lundstedt family, Brian and all those guys for years before it even started?
When I first got into snowmobiling is when I met the family. So I've known Brian and Tyler and Jordan for a while. Most of my riding.
So you knew them before Tyler's Backcountry Awareness was a thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the cool part, right? It's like Tyler's Backcountry Awareness and my experience with, Brian Lundstedt and the whole crew, everybody's been part of it. It's been a pretty amazing. It's like being part of the family, right?
Absolutely.
And it just proves it here that, you guys were involved and friends before this. You started riding together. And then at the point that Brian started Tyler's Backcountry Awareness, it's my understanding that he actually knocked on your door and says, "Hey, can you help me with a little project?"
Yeah. So
without getting too damn, just so you guys are clear, this is the smartest guy on the entire campus. Like, watch this. What's your day job?
I'm an engineer.
For
electrical
what?
engineer.
Yeah, electrical engineer for what kind of company doing what?
So we make electronic monitoring, house arrest, GPS, real-time GPS.
It's really technical, cool
some
stuff.
Pretty cool radio.
And so
stuff.
this guy, he's like, I look around the room and I think I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room for sure when I look around this room. This guy right here, he's the smartest one in the room. And so Brian gave you a call, and he says, I need some help with a project.
Yeah, so when he started the program, he was looking for something mobile.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be tied down, wanted to bring the avalanche education to other people, to other places. Yep. And a beacon park is a really, really powerful training tool.
It's awesome.
So all of them at the time have been like this control box on a pedestal that's got these wires that go out to targets. Very pretty. They're not mobile.
They're kind of functional,
great,
but they're not real pretty.
They work great as a training tool, but they're not mobile. They didn't fit with our program. So Brian brought me on board as an electrical engineer, communications guy, to put together this wireless battery-operated, pack it up, take it with us, and then go deploy it in the field when we do shows, sponsor events, whatever. At the end of the events, pack everything up, roll off to the next.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna pretty sure you didn't fail at this project and you did not suck at it.
Yeah, it was a couple months of development. Had boards printed, stuffed parts, all the little bitty parts, and wrote some software. Got everything talking.
Yeah. And like anything, when if you're helping a friend out, paid or unpaid, and you don't suck at it, the next phase of that is I got more for you to do.
Yeah, it's been
and so it was
kind of a never-ending thing.
Instead of you walking away after that project, what happened?
Yeah, so at the time, Brian was starting to develop an awareness program. There was no motorized curriculum for anything yet, so I kind of stuck around, and our first intro class was pretty rough. I had taken some classes before with avalanche beacons, and I thought I knew what I was doing, but it kind of put me on the spot when we did a demo very similar to what we did this morning.
Yep.
And it was like, holy cow, I don't know what fake it till you make it, right? I don't know what I'm doing.
And it's now been,
at
8
that
years?
Point, I've been with the program for about 8 years now.
And you've found your own avalanche journey, right? Or your own education journey.
Absolutely.
So you've now gotten to, a pro level 1 to be able to do
I've taken my pro 1. I'm taking my pro 2 coming up here in about a month.
Awesome.
So looking forward to it.
That's
a little intimidating, but looking forward to it.
So let's talk a little bit about, unless there's something you really want to jump in on there, right? So let's talk a little bit about this week and what we're going through. So, I'm one of the students in the class, and I'll just tell you, I've been through previous level 1s, this area level 1 with Tyler's Backcountry Awareness. Day 1 did not disappoint. There were some amazing things. There's some stuff I'm taking home and, working with my snowmobile club and my riding buddies, things that we're going to do our own practice that, are just innovative that I've never seen before. It's pretty cool. But, what are the students going to be experiencing this week for their first 3 days, and then into that 4th day when we do, companion rescue.
On
just give us a high level, what's going to be going on over the next few days.
Yeah, so a lot of people get this idea that avalanche education, you're just going to go out in the snow and dig pits and find beacons, and it's going to be all boring and everything. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process to plan a trip, to take all the expert advice that's out there on the internet, from the avalanche professionals, from the weather professionals, build an emergency plan, put everything together so that you can go out, execute a good ride, and come home at the end of the day, debrief, figure out what worked, figure out what didn't, go out the next day and make it an even better day. So that's what we focus on is a lot of making stuff better.
That's awesome.
Taking the process that we already do, putting some words with it. And
well,
then,
you know what I was most impressed with today, though, honestly? Like, I mean, you know me, I'm a little bit of a smart aleck, so just roll with this, right? So,
okay.
My favorite part was the part where, like, my wife and I, who are, like, literally joined at the hip. Like, we ride together, we hang out together. Nowadays, we work together because we both are working from home.
Right.
And you guys figured out a way to, like, divide us in half and put us in 2 groups.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was feeling a little lost, I'll be honest with you. You guys know me. Without Edith, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? So tell me about your strategy on why you're splitting up groups that ride together.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So by doing that, you get these groups that ride
Settle
together.
down. You're getting a little excited.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I can tell. You're getting into this now. I think we're over the nervous part, and now he's just having fun.
Yeah.
Killing it. Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right.
So when a group's riding together, like they're always together.
Yeah.
Joined at the hip. You know, spending time in the truck, spending time at the house, whatever, cabin like this.
Just to be clear, I enjoy my time with you. Just to be clear.
And by splitting everyone up, by working with the 2 groups individually, we give everyone a chance to work with a different instructor.
Okay.
So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Like half the group gets to go with one instructor, the other half gets to go with the other instructor. And the way I teach something, the way I approach a problem is a little bit different than the way Brian teaches it. And at the end of the day, you're back together talking, and that information kind of comes right back together.
Who just popped up in the comments?
Oh, hey, I know that guy.
Look at that. There's some dude named Cameron Commenti who's watching the show right now live. Is he here yet? Is he on campus yet? Do we know? Is he coming tomorrow?
Not till later in the week.
Not till later. So Cameron, we're waiting for you to get here. Like, these other Ride Rasmussen guys, I don't know if they can do it without you. So you better get up here and be able to take care of the business, right? So Cameron, get up here. We're looking forward to seeing you, meeting you. Awesome for dropping in.
Nice.
So, I know I had to interrupt. Sorry.
Nice.
So you divided us up, separate, you know, giving us opportunity to kind of learn from different people.
Yeah.
And you were going to say more, so I
interrupted. So as the group gets back together after this class, they can exchange information within each other, within that, or between each other within the group, and it's kind of 2-for-1 deal, getting that education.
The learning from each other thing was pretty amazing, because that was probably one of my big ahas today. Was as a student, it's like my regular riding group was, you know, a lot of them were here with me. We brought a lot of folks from Washington with us. I think there's, I've lost track. There's so many of them, right? But the cool part is that we had a good mixture of people who were here from Montana, local folks and stuff too, and they were all mixed in our class. Right. And we did really truly get to learn from each other. And it also kind of took us a little bit out of our comfort zone in the fact that, like, you know, maybe normally I would just take the lead on some of the stuff. And like that, guys, that was the hardest part for me, was like, you know, putting a can on it and a lid on it and like locking the mouth up a little bit. Like the struggle's real. Let me just tell you, right? So thank you for everybody who's putting up with me this week. I'll cross the board. So God bless all of you. All right. What else do we need to talk about with TBA today before we jump over to some of these? I think next on my list here, we got some Ride Rasmussen dudes.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Tell us about your hat.
My hat?
Show me your hat. Show me your hat. They know that hat. They know that logo.
Altitude Sickness. You probably saw these guys 2 weeks ago.
You know them now.
Yeah.
They've been on my show like 5 or 6 times now.
Yeah, it's awesome. They got a super cool program coming in. So where we teach the avalanche education side of things, you know, we talk clear that airway, deal with patient care, and then that's kind of where we leave off. There's there's definitely a need for first aid, for rescue, for medical training within the avalanche industry, and these guys are definitely skilled, have the attitude and knowledge to back it up. Yep. And it's a super cool program. So
very cool, very cool. Good friends of mine at this point. I've gotten to know them real well. So Rick and Jason are amazing dudes. Yep. Thanks for. I saw that today and I smiled when I saw them, like rocking the old hat. So
absolutely.
Well, before you jump away, I just want to tell everybody I need some help from the studio audience. You guys all have a task here next, right? So everybody who's watching, without hitting the table and knocking my computer over, but on your laps or in your hands, whatever you got to do, I'd like to get a drum roll to introduce the one and only Mr. Brett Rasmussen. So thank you for coming in, stepping out. But Mr. Brett Rasmussen here, everybody come on, bring in Brett Rasmussen, Ride Rasmussen School. Hey, Brett, how's it going?
Going pretty good. How are you?
It's been great. I haven't gotten to see you since this last summer when I stopped by your cabin down in southern Idaho.
It's been a while.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like, you're looking good, though. Have you been working out?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, like, did you do some, like, new chemical peel on your face or something, too? Like, you're really looking good. Like, I don't recognize you hardly.
I was doing that touch of gray.
Oh, okay. Okay, little coloring in the beard now?
Yep.
Wow, it's amazing.
Touch it up just a little bit.
So, look in the camera. Like, you guys, like, this guy told me he was Brett Rasmussen. You guys, what do you think? Is he Brett Rasmussen? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guys. This is actually Clyde from Ride Rasmussen School. So, Clyde, welcome to the show. Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, thanks for
Hopefully
having
you guys
me.
get a kick out of this. Mark, wait. I don't know. Maybe you bought it. Maybe not. If you believe this is Brett Rasmussen, I don't know that that's my fault. I'm just saying. Like,
he's better looking than I am.
Brett's, like, definitely over 21 years old, and this guy's, like, barely 21 years old, right?
22, just over.
See, like I just said, barely 21 years old. So Brett's got a couple of years on Clyde here.
Yep.
But the cool part is Clyde has learned. Would you go as far as to say everything you've learned from Brett? Everything you know, you've learned from Brett, or did you learn a little bit from somebody else?
No, I was personally trained by Brett Rasmussen.
That was awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit. So give me a little bit about your background, kind of where you grew up, kind of all that, and then like we'll go into then how it is that you got involved with Ride Rasmussen Style.
All right. So I grew up in Southwest Colorado. Been riding there since I was 2 years old. First time I was on a sled. Just a lot of time riding a sled is what I look forward to every day of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime growing up, I was at school, at work, I was wanting to be on a sled.
So you were ripping. So did your mom and dad or your family rode a lot?
Yeah, so I grew up riding with my dad and some of his buddies, just every weekend, always going riding.
Yeah. And I would imagine at some point in time you stumbled across a school video or a Ride Rasmussen video on YouTube. Like, well, how did you come across Ride Rasmussen Style? Because based on the math and what you've told me tonight, you've been working towards becoming an instructor for like 6 years now.
Yep.
And you're 22 years old?
Yep.
Were you like 5 when you started? Or what, like, well, how did that work out? So when did you first hear about Brett and the idea and the concept of what he was doing?
So I live right down the road from the guy that made the original school videos.
Okay.
And so riding with him on the weekends, like when he wasn't up here filming with Brett or with Chris Brandt,
Very cool.
I was out riding with George Marsh. And so
I've actually met George Marsh before at Heydays, like years ago at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And I got his business card. I probably threw it away, but like, like business cards, nobody does those anymore, right?
Right.
Like you just shoot each other your number, like on that Snapchat thingy that you guys use nowadays, right?
Oh, yeah.
Us old people on Facebook, like where we're rocking out here, you guys know how it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you early on you got introduced through a connection through George Marsh, right? Did I get the name right? And you got introduced, and like, what was it like meeting Brett the first time when you were probably still a kid, right? Like,
yeah, so I was probably about 13 or 14 the first time I met Brett. Went and had dinner with him, and just I was blown away, totally starstruck by him.
Starstruck, right? Yeah.
It was a really great time.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's literally like a legend in this industry, right? And like,
for sure.
You think of the people who've been doing this for years and literally have innovated and started the things that we all know to be these riding schools, and even was early on involved in some of the avalanche education stuff too that you guys do. So,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I always, growing up, I was always watching his videos, just trying to do what I could to ride like him.
Yeah.
And then riding with George, he ended up, after a few years, he was like, okay, I'm going to call Brett, hook him up with you. And so me and Brett got in contact, ended up coming up to ride with him.
Yeah.
And we had a great time together, just went play riding.
That's awesome.
And then ended up, he told me I needed to go take a school. And so I started.
So how old were you when you started pursuing getting to become, like, in your mind, you're like, I'm going to go be a Ride Rasmussen instructor, and I need to start pursuing that. And, like, the first step is obviously some of the school training and some of the avalanche training and all those things over the years.
Right.
What age were you at that point? Like, literally 6 years ago, so what is that?
So I was about
16?
16, 17, something like that.
Yeah, most of us, like, even at 46 years old, don't know what we want to do when we grow up. But at 16 years old, he's like, I know what I want to do. Like, I'm going to go rock it out on Ride Rasmussen School, right?
I mean, you always want to be a kid, so you do what makes you happy.
Yeah,
You ride
exactly,
snowmobiles.
Exactly.
So,
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about the journey. What does it take to become a Ride Rasmussen instructor? You've been officially blessed with this honor for 3 years now.
Yep.
You've been pursuing it for 6. So that tells me there's a 3-year ramp-up window before you even get in.
Right.
So it's pretty serious stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. So
talk us through it a little bit.
Part of it, you got to kind of prove yourself that, I mean, Brett's real strict about his instructors. He wants to make sure that they're absolutely 100% committed to what they're doing.
Yep.
And me and him really hit it off originally because I was very interested in avalanche education.
Very cool.
I mean, I've lost a couple buddies to it,
Sorry about
avalanche
that.
dangers.
Yeah.
And then I've also been in 2 myself, plus seen a lot of people like get buried in them. Luckily, the other ones survived.
And if you're riding backcountry as many days a year as you guys are as
Right.
instructors, I mean, you're going to come across it at some point. Even if you don't
Absolutely.
get involved in it personally, you're going to drive up and ride up on somebody who you just... So just having that training and that education is critical for just that environment of being out there.
Right.
And if people are trusting you to take them out in the backcountry,
Right.
like, you have an obligation to keep them safe, right?
Yeah. And just to push for more people, you can never have enough avalanche education.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you can have anybody, the better it is.
Yeah.
So I've always been very passionate about pushing avalanche education as far as possible. And me and Brett really connected on that level.
Yeah.
So for Ride Rasmussen Style instructors, we're required to have up to a Pro 1
Wow, nice.
avalanche education plus wilderness first aid, CPR, AED certification.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of classroom time and a lot of dedication to get to that point.
It's a lot
become
of
an
a
avalanche
lot of dedication there too. And so, kind of with this whole program, kind of what are your personal long-term goals for this program for yourself as well as for Ride Rasmussen Style? And what's say 5-10 years from now? Where do you envision yourself?
So I see myself being able to do kind of like Brian's doing and just travel around teaching avalanche education.
Oh wow, that's
but
awesome.
Also teaching ride instruction. I mean, the most important thing we want to do is have fun out on the mountain.
Yeah.
And the better rider you are, the more fun
The
you're
more
going
you
to have.
know, the more fun you're going to have, right?
Exactly.
It unlocks terrain, it unlocks skills, it keeps you safer.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the things that I love about this Driven event and why I'm personally so passionate about supporting it is, backcountry safety, when you pull it all together, avalanche safety is just one aspect of it, right? I mean, I think of my own riding career in, from 2007 until about 2012, I was forgive me, there's a pop-up here. I'm going to close this out. Normally I'm close enough I can do that without you guys seeing it, but just so you know, I'm too far away, so I got to take care of that stuff. So we got that taken care of. But the riding skills part of it, right? I think of my own riding evolution, and I think of like the times that I've gotten hurt or that I've messed up my sled really bad. Frankly, it comes down to I just didn't have the riding skills to keep my sled on edge or in control or whatever that situation was. Mm-hmm. And whether I'm in avalanche terrain or I'm just in like technical riding terrain, I'm in danger if I'm not learning all those skills.
Right.
And so that's, to me, this whole program is kind of that whole package, right? To be able to do part of it. So it's really cool to be part of. So
absolutely. And one of the big things with Ride Rasmussen Style is we're teaching the easiest way to ride.
Yeah.
So the least energy possible. And I use that on a daily basis. It's January 31st, and I have 63 days on the snow straight so far this year. Today was my first day off in a long time, but to be able to ride that many days...
Well, if you consider what you did today your day off, like, dude, you worked way too hard. So, I saw you working out there today. You were helping with the avalanche classes and following everybody around and kind of coaching people and helping people. And
well, that's fun for me.
If nothing, you're at least observing and learning along the way, right? So that's your version of a day off. It's kind of like my version of a day off. It's like you work your butt off every day regardless.
Right, absolutely.
Cool.
And you can never... I mean, even today I just sat and helped with the avalanche one, and... You can never have that enough training.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I've already been in 5 avalanche classes this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Clyde, is, introducing you as Brett Rasmussen, and now you've probably, I think, taken more time than everybody else so far. Like, we're going to kick you off here before your head gets too big, because you're killing it, man. You're doing awesome. Well, any final thoughts before I let you go?
I think we're pretty good.
All right. We'll get out of here before you get too big of a head then, buddy. All right.
Good having you.
Thanks for having me. So, Craig... I think you're up, buddy.
I'm up.
So come on in. Tell everybody hi.
Hey, everybody.
So I just want everybody to tell, this is my twin brother. So we were separated at birth. We have the same mother and the same father, but I was given up for adoption. And I like to go like, that way. Like Edith went that way. Can you do that? Can you point the other way? Yeah, like that way. That way. So I have to deal with this guy all week long. Like I try really hard. I wear black hats. I wear the same T-shirt. by the way, this is your T-shirt, right?
It is. Actually, I'm going to send you the bill for it next week. I mean, I didn't tell you it was free. I just asked you, here, you want a shirt? You said, yeah. So
I thought we were friends.
it's COVID, man.
We're brothers. We're brothers.
I know.
Twin brothers.
Right.
Like, look at this. The chiseled jaw, the whole work.
I can't see, but it's close.
This is basically me. Like, I know you guys know that, but I just wanted to point that out because, he's not ugly, and I'm sure I look just like him. So, here we go. So here, come on.
I look like you.
Well, you do because you're my twin brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I just hope Edith doesn't get confused.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh, I never thought about that.
This is a family show. Family show. So this is my buddy Craig. So Craig, I'm not even going to try to say your last name. So tell everybody.
Olhauser. Craig Olhauser.
Craig Olhauser. So we've been friends on Facebook a little while. You've been following the show, and you're pretty tight. And you got this interesting dynamic amongst this whole program because you kind of got your own thing going on with Ride 701. You're aspiring to be a Ride Rasmussen instructor, right?
Correct.
And you're here attending and supporting Keri. I can tell you and Keri are pretty tight. You got driven on your wrap on your sled, and you're part of the family, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of interwoven here over and over again. And so you really are, and you're a student also, right? So you're going through the level 1 class with me this week. And so there's so many cool things going on. So let's just kind of talk a little bit about who the heck is Craig? Let's just start there. Where do you live? Kind of what's your day job?
Yeah.
How did you get to this point in your life without going too deep? Because you guys, just as a tip, I'm bringing him on for a full-on episode. This guy's got some stories. Every time I turn around, he's got a new story. So by the end of the week, there'll be even more. But the stories I've already heard, I've asked him to come on and be on an episode with me in the future. So Craig will be back. But tonight we're going to do high level. A little bit of who are you? Tell us about your family a little bit too.
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town, Lytton, North Dakota. I moved to Mandan, North Dakota. And
we're good. Okay.
So
we lost everybody for a minute. I was like, where did they go?
Oh.
Where did they go?
I'm
Sorry.
I'm
distracting.
You want me to go? You go?
No, they're all there. That's
We're not going to argue right now, are we?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I
just
think
want to
we're good.
So I live in Mandan, North Dakota right now. I started riding all sorts of stuff, recreational vehicles, when I was a young child. My father owned a mechanic shop, and every time he put together a sled or a motorcycle or something else, I'd always find a way to be, hey, Dad, can I go test drive that? And so been just growing up around this stuff my entire life. And I guess back in the 2010, 11 era, I started riding in the mountains quite frequently. And another incident that happened we'll talk about at a future date. That along with some a friend and some other people back from where I live, some deaths had really changed the way I looked about.
You've lost some friends through avalanches and stuff, unfortunately, right?
Yeah. So it's changed the way that I look at being able to navigate through terrain correctly, and also my ability to be able to ride not only in, but also be able to get back home safely. And so I'm very, very thankful that my fiance, she's very, very understanding. So she lets me travel around pretty much from December through March, April. I've done a lot of avalanche educational stuff. Thankfully, I met Keri here a few years back. I've been working with her. She asked me to come out here and help with a class 1 year, and so I did that. And I had a blast. Everybody was super nice. Met a lot of people. We had a great riding clinic that year, and so for the last couple of years now, I've been going out and I've been doing the instructional school with Brett.
Yeah.
And just moving forward with that, luckily was able to get in on the Tyler's Backcountry Awareness Clinic that's going on. It'll end here on Tuesday. And so every time I do one of them, I learn a little bit more. And just continuing to move forward. And
well, as a fellow student in the class, I know one thing that Brian and Mike had done this week is they did kind of a pre-survey of all the students that were there, and this class specifically has ranges of experience in avalanche experience and terrain and evolution. Some of yourself, I've been through a level 1 before. You've been through a number of avalanche classes. You've actually been involved in an avalanche, obviously, at one point in time. Yep. We'll touch on that probably deeper in a future episode. But this dude's been buried up to his nose, and near death multiple times in your life. And here's what you guys. This is the point where I get to be just real. I look you in the eye and be in the camera. Is this dude's the real deal. Like, I've got to hang out with him last night quite a bit. We hung around, chatted a lot, and very quick, fast friends with my buddy Craig here. So appreciate you being here, being part of this.
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing. So I'm looking forward to having you on for the full episode in a future date and stuff too. So
yeah, no, I've had met a lot of great people. John's obviously one of them. I've been watching the show.
Don't tell anybody that. I'm not that great. So.
He's got an awesome program going. He's got a lot of things going. He does a lot of support for the avalanche industry. He's teamed up with Keri now. We're lucky to have him and his wife here. He's really helped us grow the program as well. And so we're looking for a great week. We learned a lot of new stuff today in the Avalanche 1 course. You can't ever take enough. You can go to. I've been through a number of different avalanche courses with different instructors, and I'm always continuing to learn new stuff. Things change, things update, and also I learned something new from everyone that comes through our courses.
Yeah.
So whether it's how to instruct better or how to maybe it's something that I'm doing incorrectly that I can learn to correct.
Nice.
And so, it's been great.
So can you give us like a little bit deeper peek into Ride 701, kind of how that started and what your goals are with that?
Yeah, so Ride 701 started back in 2016. I was in an accident, and make a long story short, I decided that I had to make some changes in my life, and I wanted to make changes for the better. I wanted to help not just individuals, but families be able to see their loved ones come back home from the mountains. And so that's how I got kind of into the avalanche education. Lost a friend back in 2016 as well. Still a tough deal.
Right? Yeah.
And so, and I needed some motivation in my life. I had some struggles back in 2016, and I needed something to grasp, and snowmobiling has always been a passion of mine.
Yeah,
So
cool.
I took the reins on it, and I started a Ride 701, and it's mainly to help people become better riders in the backcountry, and also help expand people's knowledge on avalanche.
And for those who don't know, 701 is one of my favorite little things about North Dakota is, I don't know if this has changed or not, but back when I was still a kid, the entire state of North Dakota has one area code.
That's right.
Is that still the case?
It is still the case.
Guys, name any other state in the union that has one area code for the entire state. Ride 701 covers the whole state.
The whole state.
That's
right.
awesome. So it's
Absolutely.
a fun fact. Didn't know that. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know you knew that. But you are from Brainerd.
I
so
am, yeah, from Minnesota, So anything else tonight that you want to get through to the audience and anything going on?
I don't. I guess the main thing would be is I just thank everybody that not only the people that come in and come through our clinics, but Keri, can't express my gratitude enough for her. She's been just an amazing person. I've learned a lot from her, not only on the...
Keri doesn't suck, does she?
No, she's a great individual, and so I've learned a lot from her. She's led me to many opportunities otherwise that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to.
She's been connecting a lot of people in the industry.
Including us finding out we were brothers.
Yep, twin brothers.
Twin brothers.
I mean, long lost, but, it is what it is.
And so, and just being around everybody here, everybody back at home that supports me, my family, friends, mom, dad, everybody else, my kids for understanding, and so I guess everybody just a big thanks. I'm very blessed.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Have a good night.
And I think we have just one more, but we may have a surprise guest at the end. We'll see how that goes. But right now, Carl, come on in. Let's bring you in. So welcome, Carl. Feel free again. I don't know if it's just Montana or if it's just that maybe I had one too many beers at dinner, but I'm struggling saying the last names of half of the people in this room. So give us your full name. What's your last name?
Carl Zermulin.
Yeah, don't even ask how to spell it. That's right. What's the background of
German.
that name? Is it German?
Yeah.
Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Oh. Fun fact, if you didn't know, I was an exchange student in Germany in high school. I took 2 years of German class, spent 4 months of my life living in Germany. I don't think I've ever said that on the show. We just broke new ground.
Cool.
See, look what you just did.
Nice.
You're just making the difference in the world.
Making it all.
Yeah. So this gentleman over here is multifaceted. Multifaceted, right? So without giving away what they are, how many jobs do you have? Just count them out loud in front of everybody.
We'll say 5.
5.
I'm
Like
just
this guy's
guessing.
got like
That's
5
a guess
jobs
right now.
Yeah, and he's probably like forgetting some, but
Yeah,
let's focus
I got
on
a lot
the
of
ones.
hats going on.
Let's focus on the ones that are tied in around here in this particular week. So one hat that this guy wears is you are one of the Ride Rasmussen
I
Style
am.
instructors,
I
right?
am.
And so you're based here in Silly Lake.
I am.
Okay, so we'll
Yep.
come back to that.
Okay.
You are, how do I want to say this? Were you pulled in? Did you nudge your way in to this establishment that we're at called the Rich Ranch, or
I got lucky.
you got lucky? Is
Yeah.
that what it is? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Like, I don't
I
know.
got lucky.
So like I got lucky when I got married. Like you guys know Edith and how amazing she is. This guy over here, like he falls
My
into
wife is amazing.
the lucky husband category too. So I've met Shannon, his wife, who's here helping with the lodge as well. And like, I mean, you look at me and you look at Edith and you're like, how the hell did he score? Like, it's kind of the same deal over here, right? I mean, let's be
Correct.
honest, right?
Yes,
It's like
100% honest.
two bums like
Yeah,
us.
right?
It's like,
how did that
cheers!
happen?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of awkward that we just sit here and look at each other while we think about it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's
So yes, the two lucky guys. This guy married into
the
Rich's Montana Guest Ranch is the
Correct.
official name, but
Yes.
everybody calls it Rich Ranch or Rich's Ranch, right?
Rich Ranch, yep.
Rich Ranch. And this is where we're at today. We're in one of the big cabins here inside of Rich Ranch. There's like multiple places here. So we're going to go into that tonight. And then what else do you do? Like, there's more. And wait, there's more!
Yep, so I own Crazy's Rentals and Service, which is
Snowmobile rental
Yep,
service. in the
snowmobile
area.
rentals
Yep.
and guide service. So I do backcountry guiding,
Yep.
Ride Rasmussen Style clinics. I guide for the ranch. I actually operate under their permit.
Perfect.
So that's how I got able to do what I'm doing right now, is because of
Very good.
Shannon
Very good.
and the Rich Ranch and being able to work under their permits. And
And rumor has it you work in one of the best restaurants in town, too.
my brother-in-law owns Lindy's Prime
Okay.
Steakhouse
Down in the
down
beautiful,
in town.
I have yet to see this beautiful city of, like, metropolis of Sealy Lake,
Right.
Montana.
Yeah,
I've heard it's pretty huge.
it's huge.
And
Yeah, you're gonna
monstrous.
get lost for sure.
Like, I hope I'm going to bring extra fuel. Like, my new truck I bought's got like, we like to talk about this, a 50-gallon fuel tank. And I think I'm going to be able to do a whole lap through town with that. So
Yeah.
we should be able to make it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So I've been there for 33 years.
wow.
Yeah.
Anything we're forgetting, or is that all of them?
I think that's all.
Well,
of
and
them.
husband of the year, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean,
and of course that. Of course.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So let's talk first, because we were just wrapping up with Ride Rasmussen Style. We've got Craig here who's aspiring to be an instructor.
Yes, he is.
Basically, he wants to grow up and be you. Like,
Correct.
think about that
Yeah.
for a minute. Think about that for a minute.
He's got a long way
my
to go.
twin
though.
brother, my twin brother wants to grow up and be just like Carl here. So tell us a little bit about Ride Rasmussen Style and what as a student, what should I expect the last part of this week? What am I going to learn? What is my wife going to learn? The students that are here, like how do you? I've never been to a riding school yet, so this is new
Right.
for me.
So the first day, we'll work on the basic technique. We teach 4 different rider positions, so we'll go over technique. A large part of it is snowmobile setup, making sure that your snowmobile is set up. So for you,
Mostly, you make sure that it's a skidoo, right? No,
Generally
just
speaking.
kidding. People can bring any stuff they
you
want
ride
to.
whatever you want, yeah, whatever you're
But you
comfortable.
guys know me. I'm a skidoo guy, so
Yeah.
it's
the first day, we'll go over basic rider technique, rider position. We teach you how to navigate your way through the backcountry safely. We want you to be able to be out in the backcountry and be able to get back to your, the trailhead or wherever, not having to go on the trail.
Yeah.
We want to be able to navigate our way through the backcountry safely.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yep.
And then the second day, we'll continue on with that and maybe push our boundaries a little bit, and then
I'm looking forward to being scared a little bit.
Yeah, and then on the third day, the free day or the fun day,
The bonus day.
the bonus day, then we're gonna see what you learned.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So we got that going on.
Yeah, we got that going on.
Anything else around Ride Rasmussen Style that we need to let everybody know before we move on to the in-depths around the Rich Ranch?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I have one question for you. You married into this family.
Mm-hmm. I did.
And I had an opportunity today and yesterday, but really it came to my full attention today. Your father-in-law.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me, like, hey, you should have Jake on. Jack. So we should have Jack on. And I said, like, I don't know which Jack I'm going to get. Like, I'm not sure which Jack we should have on.
He is
Because I've met like 2 or 3 versions of Jack. And so I was a little nervous to bring him on camera.
You should have asked him to marry his daughter. Talk about getting nervous. Whew, that's a nervous day.
Wow. Like, as in, like, I don't even, I'm not even going to sit and think about that. That hurts my head to think about that. So you married into this family.
I did.
And tell us a little bit about your father-in-law and this beautiful facility they have. Like,
this is really more questions for my wife. He's been...
Yeah, but trust me, I asked her, like, let's be honest. I got to his beautiful wife or him, like, I was going for his beautiful wife, but she was not having anything of it, right? Do you want to make a cameo appearance?
Yeah, you should step over here.
Come on. So here comes Shannon.
No, we'll let her step in and talk about it.
That's okay. You guys are married. You guys can have social... you don't have to worry about social distance. So just lean in, kneel down beside him or something, come in on the camera. Lean in so we can see you. So this is Shannon, Carl's wife, and you grew up in this, what should we call it? This piece of heaven? This chaotic place? Like, what is it to you?
Oh, it's history and family and horses and snowmobiles and everything.
It's like heaven.
So it is, yeah.
It's like heaven.
So my grandparents moved here from eastern Montana
You're coming on the camera now.
sorry.
Yeah, feel free to lean in.
In 1958, and they moved here to the Sealy Lake Valley, and they bought an existing ranch down closer to the town of Sealy.
Okay.
That they couldn't make a go of it, and
Okay.
so they ended up selling off that business.
Yep.
And my dad kept the horse operation
Yep.
and leased property and ran it out of there for several years. And this opportunity came up to buy this beautiful location where we are now. And they opened the doors in 1995.
Yeah.
They built the lodge and 2 new cabins, brand new.
Okay.
And then we've just kept building from there.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so how many, just walk us through it. You have, let's talk through the buildings and the facility, right? So you have the main lodge, and then let's just come around and talk about what you have for cabins and barns and stuff.
So we have the main lodge where the meals, dining, all that stuff happens. And then we have 4 guest cabins split into duplexes. So there's 8 guest rooms. And then this lodge we're in now is a multi-room lodge with an upper level and a lower level.
Yep.
And so we can sleep somewhere around 25 people comfortably on a busy week.
Okay.
On top of that, we do guided backcountry wilderness trips on horseback. Guided snowmobiling in the winter. So a variety of
That's
things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what else do we need to talk about Richmond? I mean, I'll just share some personal experience, and you guys can think if there's anything we miss here. But my experience so far at the Rich Ranch is that, oh my God, what a beautiful facility! You drive up the road, and you're coming into mountainous terrain. And this year's a low snow year, but normally you've got plenty of snow right from here to ride out of, which we can still ride up from this year. But it's a little thin right now this year. But we got more snow coming
ride
up.
out of here.
Yeah, we'll ride out of here, and there's snow coming this week, right? So we're actually going to probably have some fresh snow to ride this week right out of the cabin here.
We are keeping our fingers
let's
crossed.
hope.
Here's the standing joke / standard operating procedure is that as soon as Jon Ferrian decides to take a week-long trip out of state from Washington gets dumped on. And that's what's going on right now back home is they're getting dumped on. Well, so far it's been bluebird sunny skies here.
It has been.
But that's changing fast as we come through this.
If it comes through Washington,
yeah,
usually it comes here.
I know, right?
It's
I know.
you guys before us.
And so, like, coming in as a guest, like, the facility is beautiful. It's well kept. Like, there's hot tub out on the porch. The food has been amazing. You guys, like, at least with this package, and is that standard that you guys include food in the people's guest stay and stuff as part of their stay?
So the majority of our vacations are all inclusive.
Okay.
So yeah, meals, and it's all family buffet style meals. So we're not a restaurant per se.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in, get in line, fix your plate, go sit down at the table with everybody else. It's it's intimate. It's family.
It's awesome, and that's the cool part too. Is that it does feel very intimate and family like, right? Like you just feel like you're sitting down with your cousins or your brothers and sisters or whatever, right? You're breaking bread and having a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. So it's been an amazing experience so far, and we're only a day or two in, and so this whole week as we go through this, it's going to continue to be just amazing. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we've talked about Ride Rasmussen Style. Anything else you guys want to highlight about maybe Sealy Lake even and kind of the community as a whole?
Yeah.
Come visit.
Come visit.
Come check us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys, we'll continue to start to wrap up the show then, but, I was just wondering, is anybody in the studio audience, I know we've been looking for, like, seriously, guys, we had dinner and Brian was there too, but, like, oh my God, guys, he was, you guys get out of here, like, oh my gosh.
Why does the internet suck?
Brian, they can't see your head, Brian, like, oh my gosh, Brian was in the bathroom the whole time. We thought we lost him. I thought he was out riding snowmobile or something.
Are you live?
Oh, hey, Brian, how's it going? Yeah, we were just doing this little show called Jon Ferrian Live. You ever heard of it?
I was watching it in the bathroom. I thought you were in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, you thought I was in
You're
Washington?
in Sealy now.
No, I was in your class today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. Dude. This guy, he's so awesome. So, yeah, he was hiding out in the bathroom the whole time. We just thought we'd, prank you guys. And it was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Give us a thumbs up if you had a good time tonight. And, Brian, we've covered a lot of stuff tonight.
I watched.
You were in there watching? Did you wash your hands at least?
I didn't even really go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I was just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, just for the exit.
Just watching. Just having a good time in there.
Wi-Fi's better.
And so,
Yeah, the Wi-Fi jumped when I came out of there.
I know, right? Boom. Network boost. And so, for you guys who don't know, Brian's been on the show before. Manager, operator, owner of Tyler's Backcountry Awareness. He's been on the show before. If you ever go back, look up Jon Ferrian Live, Tyler's Backcountry Awareness, Brian Lundstedt. It's an amazing previous episodes. And so we weren't going to go into a ton of detail tonight. But I would tell you that I'm honored to have Brian and Tyler's Backcountry Awareness as part of I don't know if I'd really call it my program, but part of what I'm part of, right? Which is this Live Large universe, the Live Large University. We're raising money for avalanche awareness and education, doing it through ARI. You are one of the current dedicated motorized providers for ARI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still just 4 of you guys?
I don't know the exact number, but that
It's been
sounds
4.
right.
It's been 4, yeah. So
I think it's 4.
It's Mr. Rasmussen,
Yeah.
right? You,
Mountain Riding Lab,
Mountain Riding Lab,
Ents.
Matt Ends. Those are
Yeah.
the 4, right? So there's
Okay.
others that are doing dual, right?
Yeah,
so they do
they
motorized
have
and
a skier
non-motorized.
background, and now they offer a motorized program too.
Yep, also in addition
Yep.
to normal. But you guys are the only dedicated to 4. And so we're all, part of what we're trying to do here, folks, is grow and develop this entire, I'll call it this ecosystem or this environment or this culture, or, you could call it a million different things. But just develop and grow and invest in
Our
motorized
community.
avalanche education community, right?
Yeah, it's our community.
And it's, to have you be part of this and, the investment that you've made is folks who go on and buy Live Large hats and stuff from the website, they get in to win merchandise. Obviously, they get in the
I don't
merchandise.
know if the winners are real. I bought my hat, and I haven't won yet.
You haven't won yet? Well, not everybody wins. Just to be clear, not everybody wins. But if you guys buy a hat, a shirt, or whatever, and you support Live Large University, that money goes to ARI and it goes into avalanche education scholarships that we support to help develop more avalanche educators. And frankly,
I've had a lot of scholarship recipients come to
through
class.
your class, and you've got now probably an ongoing need as you get busier and busier over the years to get more instructors to support you. Even this week, right?
And that money also goes to instructor training for the pro level.
Exactly.
Those classes aren't cheap. And, Mike's getting ready to go take his Pro 2.
Yeah, Mike that was on earlier, right? Yeah.
That's a program that he applied for and got granted a scholarship out of
That's
that out of that fund. So
That's awesome.
it's a great program, and the number of students we're seeing come through with scholarships is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been an amazing program, and for you to kind of help, you've put up front level 1 avalanche classes that if people are buying merchandise, they can get in to win. And by the way, we haven't even talked about it lately. Let's do it live on the air. You gave away 2 classes. The first part of it was started in May, and we went through, I think it was the end of August, and we gave away 2 classes of yours now. And then we had the other 3 partners come in the last half of the year. We did, October through December 31st, and we just wrapped up 2020, right?
Yeah.
And now going forward, basically we're annualizing this program, right? So we have given away all the scholarships for this season that we're in. Because frankly, if you were to try to go sign up for a level 1 class now anywhere in the country, a lot of them are full. I'd like to think we're all part of that, right? That we're kind of helping fill those darn classes and get people talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome, right? Even this class this week, sadly, we had to turn people away. It's not what we want to do, but we have a limited capacity, limited amount of educators, limited amount of trainers, which continues to showcase the demand for what we're trying to accomplish, right?
I think people are really starting to see the need for education with
It's
the way
awesome.
that we're getting further into the backcountry.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And so right now, from basically January 1st forward, and I'm thinking about breaking this up in kind of maybe the first half of the year, back half of the year, but with your permission, live on the air, I'd love to see if you're interested in putting up another level 1 avalanche class for folks who are live, buying merchandise from now through June this year, and they could get in to win on another level 1 avalanche class for next season. Are you up for that, you think?
Why don't we make it 2?
Dude, every time I ask you a question, you never just give me a simple answer, do you?
It depends.
You always have to make things complicated. This guy's awesome. He's the best dude ever. he's like my twin brother too. Like I can't. What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. Do Brian and I look closer together?
Who's got the better beard?
Or me and Craig?
Let's do a real
Can you do this
contest here.
with me? Can you point? We did this earlier with Craig.
I don't have to. I have a beard.
Oh, okay. Perfect. He's got the man beard. That's all he needs. So drop it in the comments whether you think I look more like Brian or if I look more like Craig. I think they're both my twin brothers. We might be triplets. Just saying, right? So 2 classes.
2 classes.
For folks who buy Live Large merchandise between now and June this year.
So whenever you decide.
Yeah, we'll cut it off at the end of June, and then
perfect.
we'll have the other folks kind of like we did last year come in at the end of the season and stuff too. But
All those other guys can
the
pick
other
up
guys.
the last.
Yeah,
half
they'll
of
be
the
on the show another time. Today's your moment.
All right, perfect.
So 2 classes available from Brian. Let's say Tyler's Backcountry Awareness will be up for grabs for anybody who buys any merchandise between January 1st, 2021 and June 30th, 2021.
Perfect. And then, Matt and Will, or Matt, they can pick up the other
They'll pick
half
up the last half of the year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. We'll make it Tyler's Backcountry Awareness.
I'm just going to go ahead and volunteer them to give away things, too.
Yeah. I think in email you guys kind of all agreed to this anyway, but I thought we'd just kind of finalize it all here.
Perfect. Sounds
It's
great.
awesome. Yeah, we're in good shape. So what do you want folks who are watching tonight to know about the Driven event and getting their avalanche education? Like, take a few minutes and kind of let's help wrap the show up.
Really, the Driven event is a phenomenal place where people can. It's like one-stop shopping to be like the best riding partner ever, right? Like you come out of it with better riding skills, avalanche training. There's a little rumor that maybe next year there'll be a first aid component involved too, like backcountry first aid.
We saw a altitude sickness hat in the show earlier tonight. You were busy, but there was an altitude sickness. We had a conversation.
There's
about
a hint that it might be on the schedule.
It might be.
So
there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance.
I mean, I can probably just say Rick and Jason are just now having to come because I volunteered them.
You pretty much told them they had to go.
And then I called Keri and I told her she didn't have a choice too.
Yeah. Okay.
Because really, who else do you want to ride with?
So Rick's watching.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Rick, just so you know, Keri, when's the schedule for next year? When does Rick have to clear a schedule for next year? He's watching right now.
Same week, 2022.
So first week of February 2022, Rick and Jason, clear your schedule because we're all coming back right here. And honestly, if you guys want in on this and want to be part of this amazing experience, and I'm going to commit right now, unless I get fired and I'm homeless living in a tent. And even if I am, then I've got a really good excuse to come here.
Sealy.
We'll move our tent to Sealy. It'll be awesome. So pending a life-changing situation that I can't be here, I will be here a year from now. Did I just invite myself to your event next year?
Yeah. But you're welcome!
Okay. She's aligned. I just volunteered her. I'm coming back.
That's all you have to do.
Did you see how I did that?
Yeah.
We're 57 minutes into the show that I kind of just wormed my way into next year's event.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up on a high note then. Rick's going to be here. We're going
Rick and Jason will be here.
Some amazing training from the Ride Rasmussen's guys. You will have opportunities for different levels of avalanche class from TVA.
Yep.
And then there'll be a first aid component so that you can be like the best backcountry traveler and the most solid team.
I can't think of a week-long experience that will prepare me more to train like a pro, to ride like a pro.
And then you get fed by the Rich Ranch, which
my gosh. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, everybody. We are going to wrap this up right now. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. Live large. Come back next week. Talk to you later. Bye.